Mm-hmm.
All right, arms down. Live long and aligned. Tell me what's going on.
Just really some upper neck stiffness.
Okay.
I mean, it's,
And you've been having this for 1 to 2 years. Do you remember what started it?
I think just some like self-adjusting stuff really.
Would you kind of just take, how would you
Yeah.
think you just kind of twist it and...
Yeah, just trying to get the upper neck. Just can't.
I go back in time, I think of it like, what made the desire to even do that? The reason why we even feel the need to pop our neck is because the joint capsule gets inflamed. So we sleep wrong or we have a neck injury. So there's a capsule where the two bones come together, looks like a handshake, and that's wrapped in ligaments. And air bubbles, that's what the clicking is, right? It's just air bubbles being released from the joint, and it feels good because it reduces the pressure in the joint. But when the joint gets injured, it swells up. So now there's less space for those air bubbles, and so when you release those air bubbles, it feels good. But is that the whole point of being adjusted, is releasing air bubbles? No. The purpose is to bring your spine back to the right alignment to balance the spine. Wow, really restricted. Any pain when you were turning there? Any pain? Turn your head right. A little bit more that way. But any pain when you turn?
No.
Okay, look straight forward again. Look out for me. Any pain?
No.
Okay. All right. Take a deep breath in, little sit up. Head back. Exhale. Easy, easy. There you go. Deep breath in. Exhale. Let it go. There we go. Deep breath in. One more. Exhale. Chin down a little bit. All right. There you go. You okay?
Yeah.
All right. I got him to move, but let's just say I had to work too hard. Right? I want them, it's like, aren't you happy they moved? Yeah, but I had to push on the piano key way too hard to get the piano key to move. It should be moving much more effortlessly than that. And part of the contributing reason for why the lower neck gets injured is the areas adjacent, above and below, aren't doing what they're supposed to be doing. So, Ed, that doesn't cause me any problems. Why are you beating my upper back up so much? Because that is actually contributing to why you have tension and then even felt the need to pop. I look at the neighbors and go, what are you doing wrong that made this guy get so injured?
Mm-hmm.
I know most of the doctors in Gonstead and practitioners, everybody's focused on, the bone's crooked, this bone's subluxated, and all this nonsense, and I'm so sorry. I don't agree with this. The bone is crooked as a result of it hurting, not as a cause of it hurting. I know maybe you've been through this with chiropractors. You're subluxated and the bone's crooked, and we have to unsubluxate the vertebrae, and that'll make you feel better. I disagree with this entire philosophy. The loss of curve in your neck is paramount, right? The chiropractic biophysics basically showed that when there's a curve in the neck, the bones aren't crooked. That the curve in the neck first goes straight and then the bones go crooked laterally. And so we don't have to worry about the segmental alignment. We work on the global alignment. Basically, we took 2 steps back and looked at the whole body like I did with you earlier. I didn't zoom in and look at the position of one bone relative to the other. I zoomed out and said, okay, we have a big global problem here. Let's fix the global alignment before we worry about the segmental.
Mm-hmm.
Excellent. I got you. Yeah, it's frozen. Okay. All right, good. Other side for me. Easy, easy. Beautiful. I got a big knot here on the right side of your neck. I mean, it's pretty obvious, right? This huge bump here. You've probably been talking to this guy. I mean, it's a huge knot on the right side of his neck. We got to get off the left side. Stop sleeping on your left side of your shoulder. You got to get off that left shoulder. I know you don't like being laying on your right side.
That's the side that he always sees.
I know it is. I know. He's got this huge. He's running away from this knot on the right side. Once this knot isn't here, which can only be stretched out, can't be. It comes right back. Relax here. There you go. I know. All right. Give that a second. We'll go deeper in a second.
Stuck on the left. Man.
I would say the left is abused. The right is out of alignment and probably frozen. I know that the pain is everything's gonna be opposite. Almost everything I say is gonna be opposite. Because we hurt where we're abused. I know maybe you've been told by a chiropractor you hurt where it's stuck, but that doesn't make any sense. If something doesn't move, it doesn't hurt. It's why we put casts on broken arms. You immobilize it to make it feel better, right? It's the abused area that hurts. It's the philosophy is exactly 180 here. it's going to be opposite of what you're probably used to hearing. This to me would be you're going to abuse the left. All right, so follow my train of thought here. You have an injury on the right, your head's tilted left. What am I going to abuse? Left lower.
Left, yeah.
Left lower is going to be his abused area because the work is being thrown away from this side, and he's going to grind. It'll be left shoulder, left arm symptoms will be the first symptom he achieves because he's in right avoidance. But the problem's here on his right upper, but it will become a left abuse, and that's where the pain will be. But the pain is from overworking, not from underworking.
Right.
All right, sorry. Just fix this here. There you go. Okay, yeah, that side's already moving. The right side's, that was pretty obvious there, the difference, right? The left side there moved a lot easier than the right. Right there. And we got to get, I mean, you're almost, your whole visit could, if for me to fix you today, it's just unlocking your upper neck. It's pretty simple.
Yeah, that's basically the plan.
I'll fix you, bud. And then I'll show you the neck down roll. I mean, I have way too much.
I have the white one.
Okay, good.
And the pillow too.
Excellent, okay. All right.
You just can't use it.
Right.
Just can't use it.
Yep. Oh, yeah, I have pretty strong thumbs. I have way too much resistance. This is locked. There's the problem. That's the core. And there's going to be a problem on the left too. I'm not saying the left atlas is an accomplice in this.
It's exactly.
But it's still, that needs to be cleared. There we go. We're getting some suppleness here. Way too much resistance. Oh, man. All right. I'm not going to spend much time over here because it's so imbalanced that I don't want to take what's loose and make it looser before I make what's stiff looser, right?
Yeah.
So visit 5, if you're not here in limited Sarasota, but my point is that by visit 5, then it's even. But the first 4 visits, I'm almost done, but 5 or 10 more seconds over here. It's so smooth, this is abused. I'll go back to the right now. This is probably something that happened in his teenage,
He raced motocross professionally
yeah,
as a kid.
we have an injury here. We
Yeah.
got an injury,
So-
a whiplash.
Yeah, lots of falls.
This wasn't just life that put this thing in here. This was a whiplash, something crashed, and then it ripped, and then it healed. I'm just gonna go over here now. And his head tilted left. Now because the neck is tilted and the wheel's not spinning evenly, now you have muscular stresses, right? The muscles are working harder to balance everything. The ligaments are under stress. The discs are under stress because the alignment's crooked. So it all goes back to alignment and mobility are the causes of arthritis, let's say, or disc disease, or whatever you want to call it. But dysfunction happens because you're in the wrong alignment. Your neck is supposed to be curved. His neck doesn't want to be curved. I'm asking it to be curved, and there's a long, this does not feel like it's where his neck wants to be, right? I'm making it go there, but it's not willingly going there. When it's willingly wanting to be here, we've arrived. That's when you've made it. And then once you're in the right alignment, the mobility, meaning that all the vertebrae are working as a team, is maintained by the alignment. When your alignment goes incorrect by looking down in work and school, that stiffens the upper neck, that makes the lower neck overwork. You create mechanical imbalances whereby certain vertebrae are now looser than other ones, and the firing order essentially changes. We call this chiropractic biophysics. There's a physics to your spine, a firing order to your spine that is altered by our alignment, by our curve being, we call it the natural cervical curve because we develop it in the first 6 months of life, and we lose it because we're not told to value it, and it's what's supposed to take us to 100. Adjustments and massage and lasers and electrical pads and gua sha and cupping, none of that will push the curve back in his spine. It's only through stretching, and if you think about it, it was stretching that made us lose the curve. It's hours of looking down that took the curve out of our neck. It's time arching back to restore it. It's the same way that we're going to bring it back as how we lost it. This is the gua sha. We'll draw out the lactic acid, and there it is, right there. But the problem's right here. There's his. Everybody can see that. That's what he's got. I don't know how you want to describe it. It feels like kind of gristly, right? Feel all that kind of graininess. That's what the Chinese tried to call sha means sand or ghost, and gua means to comb. So to comb the sand out and it kind of feels like grit or sand, lactic acid, inflammation, whatever you want to call it. And there's some here. There's definitely a little bit there, more lateral. There's some. The first disc is below the second vertebrae. So why is that? Why are there no discs between? Why are there discs between every other vertebrae except for the skull and atlas and axis? Why are there no discs up there? Because that area is supposed to do most of the work. Like right here. Same principle down here. Lumbar lordosis, 45-degree curve in his back. You know, what are you doing? I'm asking it to be curved, and there's again a resistance. There's a resistance for the back to be curved, and this is starting usually at school age to 20 when we sit predominantly in school. I have teenagers coming in here 14 hours a day of sitting, and no one's saying anything that this is going to cause problems. Not maybe, not possibly, but it will. And everybody's on the sidelines just watching the game until the event happens at 38 where I went to grab some socks out of my drawer and I fell over. It's like, how did that happen? Well, because this was locked up here for a long period and that we wore out the lower back. You're not going to, but my point is that's what this is right here. That's what all this tightness up here is. And I know we're on the front half of life, so it's like, why are you pushing so hard? You're hurting me. Because we want to keep this area moving. Don't let it heal stiffer. Keep everybody in the game. Where in North Carolina do you live?
Arlington.
Okay.
Burlington is close to Greensboro.
Okay.
Kind of
Okay.
between the two.
Okay. We went to Asheville. Was it a year and a half ago? Maybe we went up to Biltmore. You've been there, I'm sure. Probably.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, of course. Okay, went up to Biltmore and stayed at the inn. And right there. Okay. Clog right here. Yep. There, here we go. Yeah. I call this recruitment. This is the recruitment. He's trying to utilize his upper back to help, and the upper back is not very happy about yet. This is You okay? Okay. Of course, Eddie. Yeah, piece of cake. What do you got? Listen, no problem.
He loves it. The rougher you are, the more he'll.
Okay, I'm learning. Okay,
Yeah.
I'm learning. Okay, so
He's a quiet one.
this is the king and I, okay?
He's making it all.
Getting to know you, getting to know all about you. Homeschool kid, okay, I'm a little weird. All right. While you guys were like going on to school and buses and stuff, okay, I was at home watching like movies, okay? My schoolwork is done in 2 or 3 hours, and you guys sat in school and stuff. I don't know.
Fell asleep at our desk.
I don't know what you guys were doing. I was watching King and I on repeat.
We didn't miss anything, I promise.
Okay. Just relax your chest best you can. I got you, bud. Breathe. Exhale. Relax your chest. Beautiful. Beautiful. You okay?
Mm-hmm.
All right, arms down. Move a little bit more. There we go. A lot of this, again, is we're on the preventative side. I want every joint that usually never has surgery to be doing more than what they're doing and to work, if not what they're supposed to be doing, but or more than what they're supposed to be doing to make up for all the years they were doing less than what they were supposed to be doing. All right. Yeah, it's about right. It's about what I expected. Yeah, clogged. That's what, like I said, it's coming out the skin. It's all just gotta get out of there. Here we go. And then press back with your elbow in mine. There we go. Good. Try around here for me. Go ahead and press back. There we go. Of course, Ed, of course.
I haven't seen a move yet. That looks like a move that I need after I
Just
sleep
special
on my
move.
shoulder.
Special move.
Special moves. Go ahead and tilt left for me a little bit. Tilt left. Uh-huh. Go ahead and tilt left. Okay. Okay. A little bit on the bottom, nothing on the top. Please leave my ear on. Don't take my ear off, please. Okay. I like my ear. Go ahead and tilt right. Uh-huh. Good. Tilt right. Nothing on the top. Okay. Tell me, do exactly what you've been doing, or as best you can, what you do with that guy.
Well, he would want it on the very. He would want
Show
it on.
me.
He would want it on like my T1,
Show me exactly what you've been doing.
like super low. So he would say I started losing the curve at the very base of my neck.
Okay.
You know.
The problem,
Wow.
the problem with this one for that area is it's too wide. So the shoulder blades start to contact, and they effectively don't allow for good spinal pressure. So they have to make it thin enough to go in between your shoulder blades, so your shoulder blades are on each side of this, and you can get real pressure on your spine. So it's not that that's a bad idea. I don't mind you putting this on T1, but how effective it is poor. With that, you have to have the proper tool on the area. So this would be the one, if we're going to do it, which we can do in a second, and I'll show you what it's supposed to feel like. But this is what we use for the thoracic. For the neck, this is designed for the cervical. So it's designed to restore your cervical curve. And in some way, if the T1 is so posterior, your ability to restore your curve is limited. So I'm trying to play nice here. It's not a bad idea. You do have to push in T1, you understand, to help bring the curve in. But this device is meant for your cervical, not your thoracic. The goal is for it to be as kind of middle upper neck as high as you can. You take your hand on your forehead and you press, and then you let it relax.
So kind of like right on like
Right,
C2.
right
almost?
on that C2, yes sir.
Yeah,
Yeah.
right on it. Okay.
And then you'll do a little bit of right rotation, a little bit to work on that right side. I would do that for about a month. And you can use this actually. You're getting really close though. I mean, maybe a fifth, you see the finger width, a half inch from, once your head hits the ground back here, this is useless. Because now you're contacting here, and then this is not doing anything. Because you're now, while this is still floating, while your head is still floating, you're now still stretching. But once your neck starts to stretch enough that now this is touching, it doesn't, you're not going to be able to progress any farther. You'd be on a large, and this gives you at least, now you have like about an inch to grow into. If you put, you're about the same, how are you, 6'2", how tall are you?
6'1",
Yeah, so we have the same builds. My head's on the ground. Even on this big guy, I'm like a millimeter off. Just my head's, you got about there's a gap here
Yeah.
from the back of his head. That's flexibility. It's just range of motion. So range of motion comes from all the joints gliding together. It's like a drawer. The drawer's not fully shutting, and there's multiple drawers, and each drawer gives a couple degrees to bring him back, right? Now, why does it matter? Because if the joints on the back side, why does any of this matter? Because if you don't have a curve in your neck and the joints on your spine don't come together, the discs on the front wear out. I'm going to show you the wrong position. I don't want it so high that your chin is down, right? I want it a little bit here so it's coming down into your upper neck, and then you press. It might even slide down a little bit, right? But I want upper neck contact to get the curve back in your neck, to take the pressure off the disc, to restore the curve, and to restore mobility to the upper neck where it's tight, and not putting more mobility where it's loose at the bottom. No. It's much better. It's much smaller, but we got a little more. Relax here. There we go, a little bit. I'll take it. How's that feeling? How's it? Feeling better?
Yeah.
Excellent.
A little better.
All right.
Thank you.
All right, thank you, bud.
Thank you.
All right, thank you.